first place to go is to the governing documents and see what kind of restrictions there are. If the restrictions that are in place are sufficient for the association to accomplish whatever goals they're trying to accomplish via short-term rental or any other kind of rental restriction, and those are in the governing documents, and those will be upheld. They'd be upheld at any point as long as they're in the governing documents and they're drafted properly and they're applied properly. If that's not the case, you know, the boards have a pretty good deal of discretion in regard to emergency situations. And so, you know, on one hand, this could be considered to be an emergency given the pandemic. On another hand, because, you know, most states and areas are in states of emergency. On the other hand, states of emergency are usually very temporary things. And the longer this goes on, the less argument a board or the less impactful argument a board will have saying that we could act even though our governing documents say we can't restrict short-term rentals, we're going to restrict them because of the coronavirus. And even though our governing documents don't say it, we're going to do it under this emergency power that we have. And as I stated, the longer this goes on, I think the less impact you'll have that this is in fact an emergency. It depends on other factors as well. If, you know, the mortality rate goes up a lot higher, or if you have scenarios where it becomes much more grim or there's some kind of mutation, then the actual level of the emergency could increase even though the time is going further and further along. But if it kind of stays the way it is, and then the more time passes, the less likely you are to win an argument that you have these emergency powers. So it depends. If the governing documents authorize the board, great. If they don't, that kind of depends on how long they plan on implementing it, and if they want to take the risk of an owner going, that's not in the governing documents and we're going to sue you, and who's going to win that? The court will say.